Okay. So up until now, we've been doing some fairly basic things with products. We've just had the one product we've been moving around. We've really been focused on the setup, getting the warehouses right, the locations, getting the operations types and the rules set up. And so now let's have a look at some packaging from the point of view of when we receive products from a supplier with that's in packaging. So the first thing we want to do is let's have a look at our products. We've just got the one product in at the moment. Let's create a new product just to add to things. Product B. I don't need to change any of the rest of this. I can leave all this as is. Don't. Yep, I'll leave that as is. So there's our product B. So we don't have any on hand, and we do have 50. So let's go and buy some more. I'll buy some more product A's, and we'll buy some product B's. So as a purchasing officer, I would come in here and go into purchasing, and I've already got that purchase order for from Supplier 1. So what I'll do is I'll open that one up and duplicate it just because I'm lazy. And look, it's got all the information in there I need. All I need to do is add product B in here and a quantity. And I'll even stick in a price for the hell of it. So we're not focused on the price. We're not worrying about this. That's not something we're going into in these videos. This is really just about moving the stock around. Now, this purchase order number 2 is in draft state. So it's an RFQ, and this is, we want to request a quotation from the supplier. So this might be, the reason why we want to request a quote is we might change suppliers depending on whether the supplier has stock available or not, or if their price is too high, we may decide to change suppliers, and there's other ways and means of doing that. But one of the other things is, mainly at this point in time with the focus on the stock is just making sure they've got enough of that stock on hand to give us. So what we can do from here is we'll assume that we've had that conversation with the supplier, and we'll confirm this order. All right, so that's now created a receipt. A receipt is our receiving area within our warehouse. And what may have also happened is that the supplier may have supplied a spreadsheet, or we may have asked them to supply a spreadsheet. Now in this case, they've supplied us with some package information. So it looks like there's 2 different boxes here. And box 1, which is repeated, has product A in it with 30 units and product B with 18 units. And then box 2 has product A with 20 units and product B with 32 units. It happens. So this is a scenario that's not totally implausible. So it just depends on who packed and whatever happened. Nevertheless, we now have this information. So when the guys out on the dock for our receiving goods, when these packages arrive, they don't want to say, right, let's break down the package and find out what the hell's in them, that sort of thing. We've already got this information from our supplier. So what we can do now is we'll open up this receipt, and so these goods haven't been received yet, so this is still yet to be validated. But what we can do is we can pre-populate the moves for our guys out in the docks. So this is the default move. It's going to put just 50 of these products both into stock, into this stock location. But what we'll do here is we'll import this information into the system. So what I'll do first, I'll get rid of these 2. I could modify them, but I'll get rid of them because we've already got all the information in the other spreadsheet. And what I'll do is I'll import the spreadsheet. So I'll click on the gear icon, which is the action button, and click on import records. I then go to upload a data file, and I've got my spreadsheet here. So let me open this up. And when it opens up, it lands on the first sheet within the spreadsheet. So we need to pick out the second sheet within the spreadsheet, which is that that information. So just let me show you what that looks like. Is in my spreadsheet, the first one I've got is packages, second one is the one we're looking at here, and then we've got some other spreadsheets, but we're not going to look at that at this point in time. So now I've got my box package information, I've got the products and so forth. So I can see the first data row from that spreadsheet as an example here. So the first thing I want to do is test the import. So I click the test button and I get an error message saying the import's been blocked because I don't know these packages. And so that's good. We haven't set up these boxes yet within our system. You'll know from the previous video that we set up boxes and that sort of thing, but these are new boxes. So what I want to do, I want to actually create the new values. And so once I select what to do about it, create the new values, I can retest and it'll say everything's good. So what it's going to do is create the boxes for us when we do the import. All good. So we'll do the import and now we're done. And so we've got to jump in and out again for some reason. But we can see now that we've got our orders match what was on the spreadsheet. If we compare those two. So product A's and product B's. Now don't confuse the destination package with the source package. What we've got here, this is the package that came from the source, not the destination. If we were putting it straight into our own boxes, then we'd have a destination package here. So don't confuse those two. Alright, so pretty much now the guys on the dock will be able to just zap the packages and they'll receive those goods in. So let's do that now. Let's say where the guys out in the warehouse, and I can see we've got a receipt coming in for some goods. I can see that and I can say, oh, okay, this is coming from Supplier 1, and all we really need to do is validate this. Or I can use my barcode to zap the product labels, that sort of thing. And so what I can do here is I've got my global destination location, but for these products I can click on the hamburger icon and I can change. Maybe I'm going to put them into different, for this particular delivery I'm going to put these 30 in a different location than the rest, or whatever the case may be. Whoops. Let me go back to that. So I might put these in a different location, and so I can adjust these accordingly. So basically this is my global one, and then down here I can do line by line, I can do any adjustments I want to for where I'm going to put that particular amount of stock. Yeah, so that's all good. Let's validate this and see what that did. So this is now a completed receipt. Let's go and have a look at our products, and what happens here is I've got my 50 product B's on hand, and I can see if I click on the on hand button, I can see that DC stock has 50 of these product B's. So that's effectively what has happened is that those boxes have come in, we've zapped the barcodes on the boxes, and we know we've got all the quantities. If there was any, let's say the second box didn't arrive, then we wouldn't have zapped that product and we would have created a back order, and you go through that whole back ordering process for that. What else to do? Let's have a look at our packages. This is something else that's good to know. You'll notice here that the default is internal locations, and it groups by this filter, and this is a group, and it groups by location. So at the moment I've got all these boxes that aren't really in any particular location, they're just sitting around idle, ready to be used for some purpose. But you'll notice that those boxes are not here, the two that we received from the supplier. Let's just get rid of that internal location, then filters, and now I can actually see these boxes. So these boxes are actually owned by the vendor, and so these boxes may be sent back to the vendor. Let's say they were a pallet or something like that, then chances are you're probably going to send it back. Just trying to think of scenarios. Yeah, they might be reusable, and you might have an arrangement with the vendor where you send those boxes back to them. Otherwise, what you could do is you could rip these labels off and then make them your own, and then reuse them to recycle them, and not just waste and throw them out. So, but they're options. But at this point in time, they are still considered to be owned by the supplier, and may need to be transported back to the supplier, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's it for this particular thing. So what we covered here was we create a new product, then we bought the new product, and then we pre-configured the delivery of the packages and so forth. So really what it came down to was when those packages arrived, the guys out on the floor, all they needed to do is go into their receipts. I'll open this up again and see that and receive the goods in, and that was it. It was done.